So, I am without question emotionally crippled. Emotionally crippled. You can call that mental illness. I mean, everything, we all know everything's called mental illness. Everything, anybody that's out of the, deviates from the norm is mental illness, so. But mental illness can encompass so much. See, I think emotionally crippled is a much more powerful term. Again, mentally ill, you could stick it in mental illness, but I think it's a more powerful term. I'm emotionally crippled. Everything bothers me. Every time I turn around, I'm forced to deal with crap. So much crap. Including, as you all know, public transportation crap. None of which I'd be dealing with had the universe, fate, had I been allowed to stay with Joe 3 years ago. These sheets are all washed. Last week I washed all my mother's bedding. I took off all the pads that I got, all those pads that I got from Amazon. I took off but I put back, I washed all of the under, the mattress protectors, all that. There were 4 of them, all in this bed. But I washed everything just so I could say it was all washed. And I started washing my bedding. Well, I washed these sheets, and then I'm like, you're going to lie down right now, because this is the only clean room in the house. Again, I'm keeping the house immaculate, but it's not immaculate 24/7. If I come home and I dump stuff out, whatever, or there's dishes in the sink, or, but it doesn't take long for me to get it immaculate again. So I was like, what are you going to do? I have these sheets laid out because I'm not going to put them back on my bed and then put dirty comforters over them. I have to wash all the comforters. That takes time. Okay, I also had to wash my clothes. So I put my pajamas on. I was about to lay down here. Animal conveniently hires my growing belly. It's getting heavier. Established the only thing I have at all to comfort me, I don't drink anymore at all, is food, particularly sweets. If I indulge too much, I'm going to get heavier. It's going to happen. Far worse things. Anyway, I'm emotionally crippled. Everything sends me into a tailspin. Even this whole thing with the jury duty. And having to go in front of a judge. I've never had to do that before. I thought you have to say it out loud. You do have to go in front of a room full of people, but according to the phone rep that you call for information about jury duty and whatnot, they can't hear you. But it's still going to be terrifying for me. I'm going to say up front, I suffer from crippling anxiety. periodic crippling anxiety. I'm legally disabled, but that's secondary to I have to be able to visit my mother in the nursing home where she is for rehab, but I'm her invoked healthcare proxy. The fact is, yes, she's not at home, but I need to be available to her at all times, and she would be inconsolable if I was unable to visit her. Because I keep them on their toes. I discover things that I wouldn't otherwise know, and protecting her. For example, I went yesterday and her call light wasn't working. And I'm like, Mom, why is, and I tested it, but my poor mother, why is she call? I told them and they don't listen to me. See? Even if it's only every, I only go a couple times a week. A couple times is enough to discover things. You get it? Like when I went in and they're trying to feed her in her bed and having the thing back. I'm like, you don't do that. And I said something to the nurse and she's like, well, I was around, I wasn't gonna. But the aides, anybody who feeds my mother needs to know, there needs to be some, but things happen just like that and things fall by the wayside. In the end, there are other human beings who, I'm sorry, they don't give crap about my mother. It's their job, but they have her go to the bathroom and they don't stay there with her. And it's happened while I was there, and I do the best I can when I'm there. That's the thing. The broken call light, it wasn't broken, but they're ignoring her, my poor mother. They're ignoring her when she says her call light's broken. It wasn't broken, it's that my mom pulls on it too much, and the nurse came in, it's not broken, it's just being pulled out of the wall too much. So I said to my mom, you cannot pull on this or you won't have a call light. But to my mom, my call light's broken, and I tell them and they don't care. They ignore me. See? So I am the one who keeps my mother safe. Period. All right? Because I find out things. Now, granted, I'm not there all the time, so things could go on. Even when her TV was broken, my TV's broken. Mom, your TV can't be broken. This was a couple weeks ago when she first got in there. Your TV can't be broken, Mama. The other TV's working fine. That would be impossible. It turned out it was just the remote. Because if, you know what I mean, in those facilities, it's all connected. How could her roommate's TV be working fine and my mom's broken? No, the remote was broken. And I got it taken care of that day. It was pure chance. The guy that was in there trying to fixing the roommate's broken light, he looked at the TV and he got a new remote. Otherwise, it might have been weeks for my mother's TV to get fixed. See? That's what happens in those places. I'm terrified because the aides leave her alone in the bathroom. When she has to go, not when pee-pee, but the other, they leave her alone, and I've caught her standing up. She's not supposed to even, she's not supposed to even stand up on her own to wipe herself. But she's gonna do it. You see? When you are dependent on other people, when you're not mobile, you are screwed every moment. Her roommate's not supposed to get up and go to the bathroom on her own. Her roommate's bed is alarmed. And the roommate was crying to me. She has to go to the bathroom. The roommate's, I at least showed the roommate who's older than my mom, who's in, who seems to be even less mentally aware or whatever, but I showed her how to use her call light. I mean, don't you know how to use your call light? Because she's like, can you move this table, whatever, so I can go to because I saw her walk, she can't walk, she's not supposed to. I said, I'm sorry. I'm not allowed. I will show you how to use your call light. You gotta press the call light and somebody will come and help you. But you know what I mean? I can't help the roommate do. I'm not gonna help the roommate get up and go to the any more than I'd want someone to help my mother try to get up and go to the bath. See. And I went in today and my mother was wearing the roommate's clothes. I'm like, what are those clothes? Did your sister bring you those clothes? No. But then where did they come from? They're not your clothes from home. And we got to the bottom of it. The aides hadn't checked the tags and it put my mother in her roommate's clothes. See, I take care of all of this crap. I'm making a point. How important it is that I am there to protect my mother as much as I'm able to do and still maintain my own, failing emotional well-being and health and all that. Anyway, it's always something. But I'm definitely afraid they leave my mother alone in the bathroom. They leave her. And you know what I mean? And there could be ones who underestimate the time because they leave her, they stand in the doorway when I'm there, and I went to say, because I had to leave and whatever, I just want to make sure my mom was all right, and she's standing up, wiping herself. I'm like, Mama, don't ever try to get back in the wheelchair yourself, or say whatever. And then today, one of them was trying to have my mom go to the bathroom with the walker, and my mom was inching along. I'm like, I said to this one, I'm like, they usually put her in the wheelchair. It's faster. She has to pee. She's going to piss herself. I didn't say that. I said, but it's faster. Because she was going to have her just use the walker. And Mom's, that takes too long. She's supposed to use the wheelchair. But you see what I'm saying? It's always something. They can be new aids or just, it's always something. My mother's life is dependent. And one wrong move and that's it. And I have to accept that. Again, I'm emotionally crippled. I'm not accepting shit, okay? There are people who are physically crippled. A lot of I see them on video clips, or people or I see on the TV or Inside Edition but anyway, there are plenty of people who are physically crippled who can still lead good lives and even fall in love and you know what I mean? So again, as is always, it's always something. So I called Joe yesterday to bitch to him, blah, blah, blah. And of course, Joe's like, you can, he's saying, do this or that or whatever online or expose or Joe, I have an online presence. I can't reveal my location. He's like, why? You have an online presence, but are you ashamed of? It has nothing to do with that. I'm not safe. I'm all alone. I'm not safe but Joe doesn't know the extent of my online presence. Of course he doesn't, because he's not interested, so I don't share it with them. But he'll be like, well, you this, that, or whatever. Again, all the stuff that I can't say, it'll reveal my location. I'll say it if I ever get safely to Joe's, because then you know, go to the newspaper, do this, do that. Joe, it just, every time I turn around, like when I'm talking to Joe, it solidifies why I'm so desperate to get to him, okay? Because he gets it. He gets it. His world is just increasingly worse. You just have to appreciate what you have, okay? As in, if I can get to Joe, then that's it. And you know, but in quotations, God help me if I'm unable to get to Joe. Now, my mother is bitching at me. She wants, the sister's welcome. The sister watches my videos. You want to get my mother a phone in your name, of course. Be my guest. I can guarantee you it's going to drop, get smashed, or get stolen. Period. Because my mom's bitching and moaning to me. She wants her phone. She wants a phone. She can't use the phone in there. Meanwhile, she was 3 entire months in the other place, wasn't she? And never even once said, well, I can have a phone. Because she probably didn't know if she was even allowed to have a phone. But here she doesn't like their phone, when she should be feel grateful she can have it. The phone works fine. Learn how to use it. It's not that difficult. You have to shut it off in order to use it. If it's green, you know, you have to shut it off every time you finish. So you press it to turn it green, and then you dial. You have to dial a 1. I found that out yesterday. Everything was coming up busy, and I didn't know why. It's because you have to dial a 1. The fact is, I said to my mom, your sister, she wants to get your phone, be my guest. It'll end up broken or stolen. Even the former roommate who's been in this place before and again, doesn't matter. It's a higher rated facility. There's still, you know, she hid candy that the sister brought my mom. I said, where's the candy? Oh, I hid it in the back of the drawer. These people will steal the something off your body. You know, remember the how-to ticket roommate? I haven't talked to her recently. I need to talk to Joe. Even when I'm on public transportation, I can talk to Joe. I just have to say, you know, I can't say anything real personal about the world or my mom or anything, Joe, but I can listen to you, which, as you guys know, most of the time I'm just listening to Joe anyway. Because he's royally pissed on my behalf of what I have to put up with people who just are just on a power trip. They just, men want a power trip. If I'm dependent on X, Y, and Z to get to visit my mom in the nursing home, and if somebody who's on a power trip and arrogant, like Joe said, everybody, they're just children, they can lie about me, right? When I've done nothing wrong. I don't do anything wrong. I'm just trying, I just want you to do your fucking job and not just do what you please. And I just want to keep a low profile. Because I'm never able to do that. Yeah, they leave. They want to give her privacy to poop, but they don't even come back in time. That's the thing. I've witnessed it repeatedly. They don't come back in time. They don't check on her, and I check on her, and she's standing up, not holding on to anything, and wiping herself. And then they came. Oh, is she done? Is she done? And then you're not. She's not supposed to do anything on her own, but she's going to. Fact is, she's gonna live in. Your sister can get your phone. Go ahead, Mom. But you'll never be able to live with your sister. And the fact is, as I've pointed out, this place is mine legally. legally through an attorney. An attorney, by the way, who wanted his thousands of dollars. We did estate planning, and he's like, you can't just do for your mom. That's ridiculous. And he made me realize, yeah, of course not, because we need to do estate planning for me too, in case something happens to me, even if I'm, But we weren't even realizing that at first. Nevertheless, that's beside the point. The attorney came here, because my mom and I, we'd have to travel far via public transportation. He came here and gave me, with my mom nodding, whatever, his undivided attention for no lie, 3 fucking hours. We sat at the dining room table. 3 hours he was here. He wanted his thousands of dollars, but he gave his undivided attention for 3 fucking hours. And after he heard everything, he even said, get a letter of competency from the doctor. And of course, I didn't attend that. I did not attend that. My mother went there. It was for over an hour. And whatever that doctor had to do to put on, it was for a long time. He examined her, and we got a letter of competency. Okay? We dotted all the I's, crossed all the T's. It was over 5 years ago. This place is legally mine. But I would cut off my arm. I would never abandon my mom, okay? The thing is, the plan, where we're supposed to go, where Joe is, the cost of living's way lower, and it's a nicer area, okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? We can get my mother into a nicer facility. And even Joe says, you never know, you might sell that place, you might not be able to, it might have to go to, yeah, then that's what we'll do. But she can't be in assisted living. According to these people, she needs a 24-hour nurse. That's reality. Like, your sister, you're going to live with your sister. Your sister works, your sister has a life. I'm not telling my mom she needs then she would just give up. But I will tell you, because behind the scenes, you know what I mean? But I also told them, if my mother has to, she could come home tomorrow. I don't work. I could be here and take care of her. I had to do it. I tell them, but when she had gallbladder surgery, I did it. I didn't want to send her to rehab. I was at that time, I was like, just let her come home. Can she come home? Can I take care of her? Taking care of her meant that I have to get up in the middle of the night and make sure I had to help her 24/7, go to the bathroom. If she had to go to the bathroom, I did it. I can't lift her, but I can assist her to sit and just make sure she's safe into a wheel. You know what I mean? She can lift herself. She needs assist to make sure that, but they leave her alone in the goddamn bathroom. So there, we're going full circle, aren't we? They leave her alone. I've witnessed it repeatedly. Do you think I'm going to say anything? It would be pointless. They are not going to stop. They all do it consistently. Because she could take a while to poop and they don't want to, But technically, they're not supposed to leave her side. See? It's not like they close the door. If I'm helping my mom here, I'll give her privacy too. But even in the nursing home, I'm like, Mom, do not get up. Don't try to get up. But she does. And you gotta just hope she doesn't fall. I mean, that's where we stand here. Think about it. If I said something that they can't, they're not going to get through to the aides. The aides, in the end, they have the power. They're going to do what they want. Hence, I told you. I said something to an aide yesterday who was going to have my mom on the walker, which doesn't even make sense. She's in a wheelchair. Just wheel her to the bathroom. Why are you going to ever use the walker? But again, one hand doesn't know what the other's doing. I don't care if you're a fucking 5-star. I don't care. You know what I mean? Facility. You're still only as good as the people who work there. And there can always be some better people and some worse people. Like, my mom hasn't taken a shower in a month. But she's like, I like one of these aides, Laura, and she said she would give me a shower. Because my mom has turned down showers. Because she doesn't feel comfortable. And, I don't blame her. but also, do you want to just not have your hair washed? Do you want to never get clean? And then my mom was bitching about her feet being dirty. I was going to clean her feet. I said, the aides should be cleaning your feet when they sponge bath you. You don't take a shower, but this was the... And my mom stood up for herself. Can you wash my feet? And they did. But they don't do it automatically. See? See? And I was going to wash her feet yesterday. I said, you said your feet were horrible. They look fine to me. Oh, I had an aide do it. And my mom, like I said, her latest thing, she's bitching and moaning she wants a phone. I'll pay for it. It's nothing to do. Mom, you are not having a phone. And then I sarcastically said, your sister wants to get you her phone, be my guest. And I'm telling the sister right now, because I know she watches my videos, if you get my mother a phone, be my guest, do it. You know, be my guest. It'll end up stolen or smashed on the floor. But go ahead, do it. If the sister wants to get her phone, I don't care. It will be in the sister's name, and you mark my words, something bad will happen with it, and then my mom will cry, you know, but be my guest. The fact is, I don't know what's going to happen with this house, with whatever. I do know I'm the invoked healthcare proxy. And I'm not going to, I would never put my mom into any fucking, you know what I mean? Any really bad shithole. And I think that's all, I don't know. It's really hard to get into a better facility when you're not, like, well off and you're paying for it. When it's through Medicaid or something. But we'll have a better chance in hell of getting my mom into a better facility. And then you can, you know, maybe I don't know how it all works. And pay for part of it and then get her, you know, whatever. I don't know. What I do know is she'll have a better chance in hell when we get to a better area, which is getting to where Joe is. Okay? Period. So... that's where it stands right now. I just want to, you know, this is binding. This was through a top attorney, signed in front of numerous witnesses in his law office. When we had to sign everything, we went to his office because we had to sign in front of all kinds of witnesses and whatnot. But initially, he came here and he gave me and my mom undivided attention for 3 fucking hours. So we told him everything. He kept nothing from him. All this fucking chaos and all the ridiculousness and the sister and everything else that I can't say because we reveal our fucking location. It's just disgusting. Okay? He knew it all. So he get a letter of competency. We did that too. We crossed all I's, crossed all T's, dotted all I's. So... legally this is mine, but morally, you know, I'm just focused on what's going to happen with my mother that also, you know, meanwhile in there I need to be there to keep her as safe as, you know, I can.